Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Self-love through freedom and connection. So feel free to connect to The Brave Never Fall on these social media platforms. If you find anything of value in this following podcast, hit that like button, subscribe and share, and support the brave and bold tribe growing one purposeful soul at a time. There are no coincidences in life. The strength you have is real. Each breath you take is a blessing. Don't give up, give more. Believe in yourself and trust yourself. How are you feeling? Take a moment to do a self-check-in for yourself. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling spiritually? Are you feeling balanced? Are you still journeying on an intentional, purposeful path? How are you feeling? Balancing yourself is a healthy daily practice that will reliably keep you in harmony with your entire mind, body, heart, and soul. Clear your mind. Take a moment of silence for yourself right now in the moment. You are here now. How are you feeling? Upon reflection, our lives are reshaped and rebalanced. Reshaped and rebalanced. A new look at your life. And each moment, if you choose to do so, you can find a new way to look at your life in a different lens that isn't always your lens. Meaning you can look at yourself in many different ways. You can put any type of title on yourself and look at it through that lens. And you can look at yourself through the lens of success, or you can look at yourself through the lens of failure and how you can improve upon your failures. It's what we choose to look at is what aids us in being able to rebalance and refocus our energies into becoming a better person. And not only becoming a better person, but enjoying the process of becoming a better person. Otherwise, what is the point? What is the point of becoming a better person if we can't get under our belts a sense of peace, joy, and happiness? With that, the journey must be enjoyable. The creation of your journey and what you will do has to be enjoyable, and you have to celebrate yourself. So that lens that we look at ourselves through should be the most positive lens you can put on yourself when it comes in terms of enjoying yourself and enjoying your journey. That doesn't mean that a negative lens needs to be put on so we can see some of the negative things that we're doing, that we're actively doing, maybe not doing enough to turn it around, but be aware of it. And that's all part of the journey. It's not always positive. There are negatives in there, but those negatives are arrows that shows us maybe you should go down this direction, and let's see what's down there, and let's see what we could turn around. Let's see what we can fix. Let's see what we can turn from a negative to a positive and be genuine about it and be honest and brutally honest about who we are, why we're failing, and what we have to do to reshape our lives and turn things around. Order is discipline. Discipline is life. Life is discipline. Through discipline, we create purpose. Not easy, yet extremely rewarding and empowering. One of the things a person looks forward to the most during their working careers is the thought of retirement. In their homes, looking forward to an empty nest, paying off the home, the getaways, extended vacations, the perfect life, a life of infinite relaxation. To have hope in the future is healthy. And if you're fortunate enough to have achieved those things, it's awesome. You've earned your relaxation, vacations, empty nest, and retirement. Unfortunately, especially in modern times, very few people are actually experiencing these benefits. So if having hope in the future suddenly doesn't seem to look as promising as you'd hoped, what do we do now that can help? Wishing, wanting, praying, hoping, and needing would not gain you all that you need to be fulfilled now. At some point, you must take action. Taking action serves us best when we reflect upon what's happened in the past and what could possibly happen in the future. They play an invaluable part in the stories we tell ourselves. If we fear the past and the failures that occurred, we may project that to the future, despite what we are succeeding or failing at today, and vice versa. How we perceive our past and future mirrors what we are feeling and perceiving in the moment. Self-reflection is key to understanding your fears and limited beliefs. To understand ourselves, we have to be brutally honest and take ownership and accountability over our findings. We need order in our lives to remain disciplined, relaxation to give us time to hope and reflect on how we feel, how we have felt, and how we will eventually feel. If we want a fulfilled life in the future, we have to feel and believe and know we have a fulfilled life here, right now, in this moment. Valor under Moonbows, Episode 10, Order, Relaxation, and Reflection. I think in everyone's lives, we like a little bit of order, don't we? We like structure. We like the things that we know are going to be there for us each day. We like to know that those things are going to be there. Some of the things that we have in our lives each day are stuff we've created and can never be taken away from us. There's things that if we lost them, we could recreate. There are bonds to things, attachments to places that we look forward to interacting with and seeing each day. There are people that we are attached to and estranged from that we have to deal with each day. And all of that really circles around to the construct of order. And if things get out of order, depending on what type of person you are, it could really sway you as far as mood, your feelings, emotions, our temperament, our resolve, our ability to see clearly, to think rationally. When things get out of control, when things get out of order, when chaos starts to ensue, when the big boulder comes out of the sky, hits you in the back of the head when you least expect it, when you go through dark periods and you need to detach and figure things out and understand yourself a little better, we're in a place where we're trying to reassemble order out of chaos. But again, if we look at things through the lens of positivity, was it really chaos to begin with? Or was it just a bunch of events and situations and relationships that you were perceiving as chaos because you weren't doing your part in maintaining order in your own life? All that being said, when we can focus on what we're doing and stop worrying about what everyone else is doing, and when's the boulder going to come and hit me in the back of the head, and we're constantly paranoid, we have anxiety, we're dealing with disorders, we're dealing with depression, we're dealing with limited beliefs, we're dealing with failures, it's real easy to lose control of yourself and you think that your life is out of order. Well, there is no out of order sign for you if you know who you are. There is no such thing as an out of order sign. There's no temporary maintenance because we're always maintaining. We're always making sure each and every day things are being checked off, and we're keeping ourselves balanced. We don't want an out of order sign on our life. There's a reason why I put in this podcast, this segment, how are you feeling? That is my version of not having an out of order sign and a temporary maintenance detail sign. It's like temporary under maintenance, temporarily under construction. No, we're always under construction. We're always doing maintenance. We're never out of order. And how we do that is through reflection. We do that through reflection. We have to figure out what's going on with this. Again, that's why I put that section, how are you feeling, for you to have some silence and to really engage with who you are on a level where there's nothing distracting you, and you go through all the corners of your life, your mind, your body, your heart, and your soul, and you see what you get, what is reflecting upon you from yourself. And then we can start asking ourselves the questions of what did we find and what are we going to do about it? What does it mean? How does it affect us? How has it affected us? How will it affect us? In order to really grow, we have to understand what it is that is making us grow. And the only way we can really do that is by reflecting on it. We meet people all the time in life who are quote unquote victims of life. These are the people who prefer to acknowledge that they have issues. They like the fact that they are aware enough that they have issues, but they will never go to the extremes to actually engage in actively resolving these issues. And that could be out of fear. That could be out of, again, limited beliefs. It could be out of just paranoia, depression, all kinds of things, and disorders, diseases. It doesn't mean that these people don't have genuine excuses, if you want to use the word excuses, or they're not giving enough effort. What we're talking about here is the gaining of something from not doing something. Because there are people who are actively not playing victim and gaining everything, and there are people who are playing victim and not gaining anything. What rewards do we have for playing victim in life? What rewards do we get from not taking a look at ourselves and reflecting upon who we really are? And where's the relaxation that comes from that? Because the reward for looking at yourself and keeping order and discipline in your life is the relaxation. The relaxation is peaceful. It's happy. It's your journey. It's something you love waking up to continue. You love to wake up to continue the journey. You have people that sit on the couch and they cannot wait to press on to the next episode on their favorite streaming service while they're binge watching their favorite show, but they won't wake up with the same enthusiasm to continue themselves just as discipline wise in areas in their lives. And that is very telling about people. If you ever meet someone who can sit down easily and binge watch a show, but if you ask them what else they did that day, they don't really have much to say or show for. And we're not talking about having a day off from work. We're talking about consistency here. We're talking about every single day. They may get up and do this. They may get up and do that. They may get up and run around and do this. They may read a little bit of this. They may talk to this person on the phone. They may eat one healthy meal, then at night sabotage it by eating something completely ridiculous. And then the next day they're going to call and tell you a sob story about how their life feels out of order. We all know people like this, and we've all probably have been a version of this in our lives, or could be, or are right now. This is speaking to anyone who has experienced this. This is not void of anyone who hasn't experienced this. I know I have. I have been that person who has played victim many times in my life. Sometimes I was aware of it. Other times I wasn't so aware of it. I was too caught up in my own emotions and what I could get out of feeling sorry for myself. That was my doorway. That was my window into other people's lives is, woe is me. Look at me. My dad died when I was 14. I don't have any money. I don't have a car. I can't get through college in under 4 years. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't save my marriage. I can't be a father to my... Any excuse you can think of. At some point, I tried to come up with it until in 2017, I finally woke the fuck up and manned up and got rid of my beta male tendencies and just started to understand that if you want something in life, we have to reflect on it, get order, and the reward is the peace that you acquire from it. It's not going to get you there by victimizing yourself and acquiring narcissistic qualities about yourself, because that victimhood can filter into narcissism. It can filter into codependency, where you're relying on outside things and people and addictions and all these things that can really derail you and deflect you from really reflecting on yourself in the appropriate manner. And that's very dangerous. And it's a very dangerous wormhole. It's a very dangerous place to be when you get into that spiral of needing things in your life to make you feel better. That your reward each day for peace is an addiction, a person, a place, or a thing. Instead of those things being bonuses in your life, things that are just accenting who you really are underneath. But if we're not comfortable with who we are underneath, if we haven't reflected and understood exactly everything we need in life for ourselves to be happy, if these people, places, and things were suddenly taken away, what are we left with? How do we function? You see people who thrive every day, and they have the things that they love. They have their house, they have their vehicle, they have their children, they have their jobs, they have their bank accounts, they have the grocery stores nearby. Everything seems very, very comfortable. I like to look at people sometimes and it's not judging. It's more of an observation and reflection upon myself because I think about this every day. What if everything that I had that I love suddenly was taken away from me and I was left with absolutely nothing? I used to think about that all the time. And then one day it became a reality. We'll talk about how we can manifest things in our minds to create realities for ourselves, by the way, in a moment. But you look at people and you say, well, what would this person do if their house was suddenly taken away, their car suddenly was taken away, funds in their bank account suddenly was very, very low, family members moved on, and they have to now fend for themselves and do everything primarily on their own. We're always going to need help from outside sources. We need support. Support is huge in life. We need that understanding and patience from other people to understand that we're going through something, and we're bouncing back. We're rebounding. We're trying to give our life a kickstart, a rebirth. But that takes time. Doesn't happen overnight. And it can be very emotional and trying to put the pieces back together. You need the right people and support team in your life to get through those situations. But you have to look at someone and say, this person probably wouldn't make it. They're going to need more help than this person over here. And why is that? Because if a person is playing victim in their life and they are putting too much stock into people, places, and things, when those things go away, they haven't done enough inner work on themselves to even know where to start to rebuild the pieces. They have relied their entire lives on other people, places, and things in their lives to get them each day fulfilling happiness and joy and peace in their lives. So when they reflect on those things. They go to bed at night, thank you so much for this person, this place, and this thing. And they haven't once focused on the most important thing in their life, which is themselves. So the person who has at least acknowledged that, hey, I need to not focus on this other stuff. I need to focus on myself too, because I need to know if all this stuff goes away, how do I get it back? How do I put the puzzle back together if the puzzle was taken and thrown all over the fucking room? And not only do I have to hunt for all the pieces, I had to know how many pieces I had in the first place. I had to know what the picture looked like. I got to find a place to put this thing back together. This is going to take a while, and I may need some help. There may be some pieces I don't see that I got to pick up and put back together. And on top of that, people are throwing extra pieces in there that don't even go with the puzzle that you got to get rid of. This piece doesn't go here. You know, that's what it's all about in life, is that we have to be ready for those situations. But there's a difference between being ready for these situations and creating these situations for yourself. I remember in the past that I would fear so much everything I just said about losing this and losing that, losing this person, losing this thing, losing this place. I would fear it so much that what happened was I actually created that for myself. So afraid of my marriage failing that I played a big hand in creating the failure myself. So afraid of losing my home that I ended up having to leave it anyway. So afraid of losing my car that my car went away. So afraid of not being around my son all the time, to getting divorced and not being around him nearly as much as I would love to be. I did that to myself. I had help. We're never always, sometimes it's all your fault. Sometimes it's other people's fault as well and combined. The good thing about it is that at the end of the day, we have to take ownership and accountability of what we did. I did wrong. I did things that weren't right. I did things that were fucked up, and I paid the price for it. But I also learned from it, and I became a better person. I believe I'm a better father now. If I ever marry again, I'll be a much better husband. If I ever have material things again, I'll know exactly what to get. I don't need the extra stuff, the extra puzzle pieces that I can throw out. I don't need them. They don't belong in this puzzle. Those are things that you have to do in life to figure out what you need for yourself, your unique, beautiful, individual self. And that's your birthright to figure those things out for yourself. That if everything went away, how do you maintain order? How do you put the pieces back together? And would that puzzle even look remotely the same? Would you be actively saying, I don't care about those pieces. I'm going to go find a new puzzle. It's needed. Have to be brutally honest with yourself. That reflection has to be brutally spot on, accurately honest, or it doesn't work. And it takes time, because admitting your flaws, admitting you have to work on things, admitting that you hurt people, admitting that you took people for granted, admitting that you had narcissistic qualities, that you were being selfish or codependent, all these things has to be addressed, has to be owned up. Accountership. You have to, accountership, ownership and accountability. You have to take all these things in and make them part of who you are. And you make sure that you truly understand these things. one by one. Each one's a focal point. And it takes a long time. That's why there is no temporarily under maintenance sign for yourself. You're always going to be on a maintenance. You're never going to be out of order, but you're always going to be under maintenance in some way, shape, or form. You're going to be maintaining who you are. It's no temporary. There is no end. There's no finish line. You won't know when the finish line is going to come at a certain point of the day. It could happen at any point in time, or somebody may tell you, you may get a lot of people, cancer victims, I should say victims, cancer patients often know their timelines or perceived timelines. And you have to deal with these things in life. Sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. But it definitely helps with your perception. Definitely helps with perception. Because if you don't know what you're going to do next, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. If you assume things about these people, places, and things, like they're not going to go away, that you don't have to put the effort in to maintain and keep these things in your life, to keep these things in your life, or to get rid of these things and build things that no one can take away from you. Build healthy, positive, non-toxic relationships. Being truthful and honest with people up front about who you are. Truly understanding people. Truly getting inside of their souls, not just knowing them, but understanding them. Not taking for granted that you have a home. Doing whatever you can to ensure that you don't lose it. That is not under someone else's control that you lose something that is so valuable to you. If you like a certain town or a city, do what you have to do to stay in a place that makes you comfortable, makes you peaceful and happy. Why live in a place that you're unhappy in? Do whatever it takes when it comes to people, places, and things that all equal to peace, joy, and happiness, and are aligned with who you are as a person. And hopefully along the way, you're going to have people that are going to share that with you. And that's where we get into the real good bonuses of life. That's when these people, places, and things become rock solid mountains in our lives. And we not only cannot see ourselves without these people in our lives, but at the same time, we understand that if they suddenly go away, we are going to be able to rebuild. We are strong enough, we are healthy enough, we are smart and intelligent enough to know how to do these things. We've addressed it, we've reflected. We know the type of order we command for ourselves. We know that we are going to make mistakes. There are going to be failures along the way. There's going to be twists and turns that we cannot see, unexpected situations and experiences that we cannot ever foresee. But we have to get to a place where we're not creating these things ahead of time and manifesting them into real time. One of the things I love to do lately is putting phrases and things in my mind every single day when I meditate and when I journal that are stuck in my mind, and they become beliefs, and they literally come from the internal to the external, and I can see the results. It keeps me in a healthy place. It may not even be happening. I may say to myself, I don't need people, places, and things to make me happy, but they sure are bonuses, and I'm going to acquire more of these bonuses every single day. And I do. And that's going through hard times. That's a key thing there. Going through difficult times, you have to maintain that mindset. You don't drop it just because things are getting hard. In fact, you reinforce it when things get hard. That's when you strengthen that resolve. That's when that order and that reflection has to be boosted up another notch. That's when we ascend and augment ourselves. That's when we go to the next level, because it's needed. We maxed out at one level. We thought we had everything figured out. We thought these people were great for us. We thought this place was great for us. Thought these things were great for us. Boy, do we have another thing coming. Bump it up a notch. Now we're on another level. And this level is telling us, hey, what can we do up here? Again, no temporary maintenance. What can we do up here? We added something new. There's a new bonus in our life. There's a new beautiful person that came into our life. Let's not just get to know this person. Let's really understand this person. There's this new place in my life. Let's explore and see how we align with this place. There's new things in my life. How are these things making me happy? Or are they something that I really don't need and I'm just holding on to and it's collecting like junk? It's distracting me from what I really need to be doing. All the while, we're still looking at ourselves internally to try to figure out how we align with all these things. It's just a simple thing we can do every single day. Is just, how do I feel? Again, going back to that segment at the beginning of the Brave Never Fall podcast. How do you feel? Mentally, how are you feeling about the people, places, and things in your life? Emotionally, through your heart, how are you feeling about these people, places, and things in your life? Physically, how are you feeling about these people, places, and things in your life? And spiritually, how are you feeling about these people, places, and things in your life? That simple exercise, at least once a day, will put into your brain, I am aware and I care about who I am. I care about my self-respect. I care about my self-love. I am building self-confidence. I am building self-control. I am maintaining order in my life. And all of that brings me peace. If we're looking for handouts from people, wrong. If we're waiting for people to praise us for things that we're doing when we're expected to do them, wrong. If we do something for someone and expecting something in return, wrong. If we're treating people a certain way and we don't want to be treated the same way we're treating other people, wrong. If we're taking for granted the places that we stay and the things that we have, wrong. These are very simple things. If your values align with those types of things, you're going to get back what you put into life. If you appreciate everything in your life and you can recognize and appreciate when someone special has come into your life, when a place has come into your life that's super special, when a thing has come into your life that is super special, you will not sabotage that if you understand who you are. The sabotage comes when you want more than you deserve, when you have stuff that you haven't earned, when you want something out of a relationship, but you haven't gotten to know the person enough to understand that they have needs that you need to fulfill. Selfishness in any walk of life, regardless if it's about a person or a place or a thing, being selfish about what you want is never a good thing. It's not about being selfish. It's about self-control, self-love, self-respect, self-discipline, self-confidence. It's not being selfish because you have something to offer. And there's nothing greater than giving a gift, offering a gift of something great, which is you. You are great. You are a gift to this world. It's nothing greater than giving your gift to someone and expecting not a damn thing in return. You're doing it because that is you. You're doing it because you gain all of already who you are. You're just building upon who you are. The reward is the peace and the joy and the happiness that you get just from helping someone who needs help, listening to someone who needs to be listened to, understanding someone who is begging for you to understand who they are, supporting someone who needs your help, who needs that support. Because don't we expect that for ourselves? If we get to a place, it's not about saying I need that from people when I do it, but we would hope that someone would do that for us. If we don't get it, you know what? We're the bigger people here. The Brave Never Fall, we are bigger than that. We don't go into helping people just so we can get things in return. That's not what the Brave Never Fall is about. The Brave Never Fall is about connecting, freedom and connection. We are connecting with people, places and things in our life that make us happy, but we are free to walk away and do whatever it is that we're aligned with on our journey whenever we need to. But we recognize the good in the right people, the good in the right places, the good and the right things. And we hold on to those things and we're grateful for them. And when those things happen to us, because this is what it's like by putting this out in the universe. When you put that energy out, it's going to come back. That's the expectation. You know that good things are going to happen to you. The built-in reward is just a very easy cycle of, if I'm good, good things happen to me. It's that simple. The perception of it is, well, I'm good and this person still left me. I'm good and I lost this place. I'm good and this thing didn't work out for me. Who says that those things were right for you? Nothing in this world happens without a reason. If somebody leaves your life, it was supposed to happen. If that place that you love goes away, it's supposed to happen. That thing dissipates, fades away, it's supposed to happen. We can't always get everything we want in life. That's the whole point. We can't control the uncontrollable. We can only control what we can control, which is ourselves. If a person that is special in life decides, I don't love you anymore, and they decide to leave, you can't control these people. There's nothing you're going to ever say or do to make these people love you unconditionally or want to appreciate you or support you. If something happens at a place, if you work at a certain place or you go to a certain school or church and all of a sudden changes happen and you no longer can attend those places, no amount of talking and crying and sobbing and playing victim is going to make that scenario, that situation, go away. If there are things in your life that you've acquired and you lose them, then it's out of your control. There's nothing you can do. No amount of playing victim and crying and sobbing is going to make anything change. The question is, what are you going to do about it? What does your resolve say about you? Now is time to reflect. Now is time to relook at what we have in our lives that is out of order. And it's time to start putting those pieces back together, one at a time if need be. Some people multitask. Some people can handle 2 or 3 at a time as focal points. Some people can only do one at a time, and maybe that one thing is going to last them a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. Everyone's timeline, everyone's path, everyone's journey is different. Everyone's past, present, and future is different. There are no math formulas here that we can apply. E equals MC squared does not apply to general relativity of our lives. There is no Albert Einstein to figure out a collective absolution for how human beings get through this life on individual levels, and we just pull them all together and everybody say, okay, exact same life, exact same stuff, exact same success, exact same losses. Doesn't work that way. You have to figure out your E equals MC squared for yourself. What is your general relativity? How are you going to push through each day and figure out your formulas and equations and stuff to keep you in order? We can't expect other people to figure this out for us. They can guide us, they can aid us, they can show support, they can coach us. You can go see counselors, therapists, life coaches, family members, friends, colleagues, acquaintances, pastors, managers, supervisors, owners, CEOs. At the end of the day, whatever amount of knowledge you acquire, you still have to put in motion. We have to look at what's the goal. When we look up, then there's 2 doors and there's 2 signs. On the left, it says exit sign. On the right, it says goals. Which sign are you going to go underneath? You're going to go underneath the exit sign because you want to run away from your problems, or you're going to go underneath the goals side because that's where your problems get resolved. The exit sign could lead you anywhere. You have no control over that. The goal sign, once you walk through the door, you have all the control in the world. And the goal is peace, relaxation, happiness, and joy. And that is your birthright. Pledge with me. And listen to these words carefully. We're going to do this almost affirmation style, because this is needed. I'm going to repeat this and repeat this and repeat this, and I want you to repeat this with me. I am the strongest person that I know. Although I was once weak, today, here and now, I am the strongest person that I know. I know tomorrow may bring me rain. I know tonight may bring me pain. I know someday I may go insane, but I will never live my life in vain, because I am the strongest person that I know. No one can take my strength away from me but me. No one can reduce me to weakness but myself. No one can push me to failure but myself. And no one can make me ascend to the level that I know I need to be but myself. I pledge today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow that I will remain in this strength. I will remind myself daily that I am the strongest person I know. I will live in peace. I will live in purpose. And I will live in discipline, because I am the strongest person I know. This is your day. You are here now. These are your moments. You own them. You are brave, bold, powerful. You do believe in yourself. You know you have more in the tank. You know the glass is half full. There's still more room for improvement. There is no end. Believe, believe, believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Trust that you can do whatever it takes to accomplish whatever you want from life. You don't procrastinate. You don't embellish. You don't lie. You are true to yourself always. Knowledge is in your mind. Peace is in your heart. Balance is in your body. Purpose is in your soul. You are greatness. The sky is not the limit. You have purpose, fulfilling, intentful purpose. You are here for a reason. You are unique. You are self-love, self-discipline, self-respect, self-control. You have self-awareness. You are joy, peace, and happiness. You are freedom, and yet connected to every person, place, and thing in the universe. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Learn, laugh, and level up.